Okay, what you see there are two flickers on the nesting log. And you don't get to see that behavior too often. Now the male has a mustache below his bill. And I can't tell if those are two males or a male and a female. There are 3 of them there. One of them is in the hole, is in the log. Now I'm gonna make a I got a gray squirrel messing around my bird feeder here, and it's driving me crazy because I can't chase him off. But what was interesting, before I got the phone to record this, they were doing that little dance. I've never seen anything like that before. Oh, damn squirrel. Damn gray squirrels. It's cold this morning. It's 35 out. And in case you don't know much about birds, when it's cold like that in the early spring, nobody wastes their time singing and putting too much energy out. So the warmer it is, the more active they are. But just a little bit on flickers. Okay, the males come back, at least here where I'm at, first week April, usually around April 1st every year. And the males come back about a week before the females do. And they will start calling for a female. Now the interesting thing about flickers, they are woodpeckers. They can make their own cavity, but they will take a used cavity. Not all woodpeckers will do that, which makes flickers easy to attract to a nest box if you're in the right habitat. Now the problem, flickers eat a lot of ants. It's a big part of their diet, so they're a very large woodpecker. The problem with flickers is they lose a lot of nesting attempts to starlings. And this is why, if you're going to attract flickers, you have to control starlings. Now, I do 2 things with starlings. I either trap them, or I pull out the firearm. I don't play with those things. The minute I see a starling skulking about here and it stops for 5 minutes, it's over. But this is the result. You get flickers doing this sort of thing. Now, I have never watched this behavior before. I've never seen this type of behavior. And I am guessing, because my eyesight isn't good and I don't have my binoculars, that, like I said, it could be 2 males squabbling, doing whatever they do, or it could be a courtship ritual between a male and a female. I don't know. Every year I say I'm going to put up another flicker box, but I just don't know where, because they are territorial. And I don't have tons of space. And then the other problem is when you do have a box up for them, you got to be vigilant in dealing with the starlings. So you have to constantly be on, watching for them. A starling will wipe out a nest of flickers real quick. So what the starlings typically do is they'll, like if a pair of flicker decide they find a tree and they're gonna make their own nest cavity, the starlings will sit around and wait for the flickers to finish. And then they will forcibly evict the flickers. And if they can't evict them, they will kill them. And I've lost nests to starlings before. So I got two boxes. I got that log and I got the box in the back. So I've had them where starlings will evict them and they'll move over to the other box. It only takes an hour for a starling to frickin' screw that nesting attempt up. That's all it takes. See, I'm not a bird watcher. I'm a bird observer. I don't want to just see a bird and put it on a list. I want to observe behaviors. I want to watch them do their thing, and I want to help them. Because as human beings, we destroy so much habitat just by building homes, and no one does anything to give anything back. So one of the things I do here is I encourage native birds. And one of the best ways is to keep all the non-native birds out. The house sparrows and the starlings. Now you may say, well, there's pigeons, and pigeons aren't native. No, they aren't, but they're not niche stealers either. And I keep pigeons because the pigeons are the targets for the predators. So the birds of prey that we have in North America, particularly where I am at, used to prey on the massive flocks of passenger pigeons. So they're adapted to going after pigeons per se, with that family, passerines, the pigeon family. I forgot what the family name for pigeons are, but so when you have birds of prey that want to focus on birds, they will focus on the pigeons and not the native birds. It works very well for me. Not everybody can do that, but that's what works for me. Well, and this is just my camera filming this. Now I'm going to have to go back and look at this and see if I can determine the genders of these two birds. I'm guessing that gender is not a social construct with flickers. Interesting behaviors. I knew that I was probably going to have some nest box competition because I've been throwing baby flickers out into the environment every year for the past couple of years, so their population has gone up. And birds tend to return to the area they were born in. So, all right, well, I think that's enough. I caught some interesting behavior on camera, and that's all that matters. Till next time.